Good evening and welcome to Legit Paranormal News. It is Wednesday, May 24th, 2023. This right here, brought to you by Legit Podcast, is our show. I am King Michael.
I am Dreamy David Barr.
Now, David, before we get to the top story, let me just hit them with some of the alleged news. Okay,
All right.
top news. Rock star, R&B star, pop star Tina Turner passed away today at the age of 83 in Switzerland. Dave, is Ike Turner still alive?
I'm not sure.
Find that out, will you please?
All right.
Okay. Moving on to the next topic. Let's see. I can no longer get from my house to CVS. Why, you may ask? They're filming a movie. Now, oh my God, you're thinking a movie. They're filming a movie where you live. Yep, Good Burger 2. That's right. They're filming Good Burger 2. And I can't get to CVS because of it. David, I don't know if you heard this, but in the new Flash movie, Michael Keaton will be shown as Batman.
Yes.
Also released, Superman will be revealed. And the actor playing him will be Nicolas Cage.
Really?
Nicolas Cage. So we've got Michael Keaton as Batman, Nicolas Cage as Superman. My question is, where was Patrick Dempsey? David, Eddie Murphy is making a movie for Netflix in 2024 called Beverly Hills Cop 4, Axel Foley. I'm all for it. It's R-rated. I love me some Eddie Murphy, okay? I love Axel Foley.
How can you not like Eddie Murphy or Axel Foley? That's a great character.
Okay, but then he signed on the next movie to be filmed, The Pink Panther. My thoughts immediately were, you should call Steve Martin, ask him what he thought about it, how he liked trying on those shoes, and how bad he failed. Because
Yeah.
Eddie, stay away from the PG kid movies from now on, please. Please. The one he did with Jonah Hill. Oh, I love that movie. Just please stay away from PG.
So Mike, Ike Turner is dead. He died December 12th, 2007.
All right. Well, cross him off.
Yeah.
It's official. Ron DeSantis is running for office. Also on that same level, the wind blew today, Dave. It was windy. Let's see. Finally, the FBI. This is all alleged. This is the alleged news, just in case anyone wants. Alleged. The alleged FBI whistleblower on speaking on that, that certain date where that certain event happened. You know what I mean? He claims that there were 8 FBI agents alone that infiltrated the Proud Boys, allegedly. Also, ones that allegedly infiltrated the Oath Keepers, allegedly. They were called UCs. There were also allegedly 100, if not the 300, allegedly, Washington, D.C. police, allegedly, pretending to be Trump supporters, allegedly, mixing in with the crowd, allegedly, between the Secret Service that were there in the hundreds, allegedly, in plain clothes, allegedly, and the FBI, allegedly, and the Washington, D.C. police, allegedly, and another state police department, allegedly. There were close to about 1,000 people, allegedly. They were all working for some sort of the government, allegedly. And that makes that whole thing seem really weird, allegedly. And that's all I got, Dave. Allegedly. That's, you tipped the hand with that many people? Yeah. Because let me put it this way. If they were there, they could have stopped it. All right. If it was that many, I'm just saying.
Man, if people drank every time you said allegedly, they'd be hammered right now.
Hey, well, how do you deliver that bit of news right there? But
I
that's actually what he just
allegedly
released.
didn't get the memo once again. I thought we were going to be back in the studio.
Oh. Yeah, I heard. Look, dude, I heard you've been living there. We got to talk about that after the show. Like, I get issues with that. You can't live in the news studio, dude. That's not cool.
What do you mean?
You can't live there, Dave. You got to go home. I heard you brought a toothbrush in the bathroom where we all share. There's like, what, 12 of us? No, Dave. No.
Who's telling you these things? These things?
HR. If you
HR.
went to one of the things, you'd know it's HR 11:30 on Tuesdays.
Well, I got 2 letters for HR, and that's BS because I haven't seen any of those people here at all. It's just
that's
me.
that's
Me.
because we've all been on vacation, Dave.
It's
We all
just
left the
me.
studio.
So, like, how does HR accuse me of living here if they haven't even been here?
Uh,
That's
well,
BS.
well, you remember when we stopped by earlier today? We walked inside and you were eating the Doritos, playing the video games, laying on I think it was Buddy's desk.
Oh, you guys saw that.
Yeah, well, we saw all that. So
Shit.
yeah, so why don't you get to your top story, Dave, and Tuesday HR 11:30, please.
All right, before I get to my top story, I had a paranormal experience today, Mike.
Uh-oh.
I ate one of those KFC bowls, the mashed potatoes and the corn and the gravy and the cheese and the chicken, and I didn't instantly shit my brains out. That's not normal.
Wow. I gotta be honest. Every layer you went, the fat guy in me got hungrier and hungrier. No. See, I say that some people get offended, but I know who I am. Like, I'm 175 pounds. At my heaviest, I was 225. A couple years back, I was 202. I would stay at the 203. It's so hard to stay at 175 at 6 feet. I'm almost 6'1". You know how hard it is? Dave, you have no clue. So when I freak, I binge eat. Like I binge eat like a jerk. You know what I mean? And then I pay for it because my stomach is shrunk and it hurts so much because I just filled it with nothing but glop. Like literally, when I get really hungry, it's the worst of the worst of the worst of stuff. I'll eat great for like 10 days straight, but then there's one day where I'll be eating hot tamales, Twinkies, a burger. No, you think I'm kidding. Red Bulls, I like Junior Mints. I like lemon heads. Oh, lemon heads are really good. But anyways, I digress. But yeah, the fat guy in me loves stuff like that. And I got to control him because he wants to come out and just eat everything all the time.
It was like my once in a 5-year craving for that crap. So, and I'm good for like 5 years now.
Well, I'm proud of your bowels. How about
that? Stomach of steel.
Stomach of steel.
All right, I guess we should move on to our top story.
Yes, what is our top story?
It's why we do what we do. It's kind of a little opinionated thing that I decided to throw together. We've had someone commenting on our posts that what we do is horseshit. That same person has been attacking my events since the fall of last year. So I mean, they're entitled to their opinion. They just don't have to be a dick about it. I'm open to having, and I know you are too, having a conversation with someone and seeing where they come from. And we can agree to disagree. But to be constantly bashed for no reason and to not get any kind of explanation out of this person has been ridiculous.
Dave.
Yeah.
He won't let go of the Motley Crue, old school Bud Light, girls in bikinis type attitude.
He had his 15 minutes of fame.
No, well, he had more than that, man. That's the thing. Here's the thing. The worst part about all this is I'm a huge fan.
Me too.
I love the ID of the 420 Club. Like when he hosted 1 or 2 showcases we were at, and when I met him, I had so much fun being around the guy. He seemed so cool, right?
But like there were times when he would go off on the radio, right? And I didn't call the station and say, "You're an idiot. Shut the hell up." Like I let him speak his mind. And if my power was I could change the channel and listen to something else and then come back a few minutes later, right?
Wait, here's the thing, right? So I believe that you're allowed your opinion on anything, right?
Yeah.
But it's almost like it should be common courtesy to do it once. In other words, you made your comment, all right. We talked about it, whatever. But to keep making comments on different things and continue, it's sad.
It's childish.
No, it's not childish at that age. It's friggin' sad. It's like, throw me a rope, please, is what it's like. You know what I mean? It's like, throw me a rope, please. I need to cling on to something. Maybe I can start a little bit of controversy with a couple of sites that have followers. You know what I mean? Maybe I can pull up something. That's what it's just sad, man. It makes me feel bad because, like, again, I am 84. And as you get old, the thing is, I guess, well, a lot of guys don't want to let go of what they once did, or what they once had as a life. Whereas I got to be honest, I'm at a point where I just enjoy what's coming next because I have no idea what's next. I've learned one thing, and that's that I have no idea what's next. Now, here's the other thing about that, Dave, really quick. His issue is he's an atheist, which is great, right?
Yeah, he's entitled to that belief.
I'm still not saying what my belief is. You're not hearing it from me. I'm not telling you what I am, right? I'm not saying what I am. I'm saying, okay, that's cool, but you don't have to be one of the ones that are like abrasive to other religions. Like, it's not a put it in their face type of thing. That's not what a non-religion should be. Again, in my weirdest opinions, if you are an atheist, then you shouldn't even have an argument. You're like Kobe Bryant when it comes to religion. You're like, it doesn't even exist. So why would I argue with somebody? And then, why would you argue with someone that what they believe in, what makes them comfortable, what brings them comfort, is wrong? Even if you know what they believe in is 100% wrong, if you know it's completely garbage, I still wouldn't tell that person that it was garbage if it made them feel better and it was something that they clung to. Now, if he's going after like priests and stuff like that, because he's still stuck in the 80s and that's what was hip the last time he was on the radio, like if he's still stuck in all that stuff, then I get it. But dude, you're aiming it at the wrong people. If it's regular people talking about what they believe in, you can comment once that you don't agree, but if you keep going after it, it's like, what is your issue? Like, what is you don't even believe in it.
Not only that, but I mean, he's got an open invite to come and talk with us, and he doesn't have the balls to do it. At least come and have an open conversation with the people you're trying to bash. Find out where we're coming from. We can find out where you're coming from.
I know where he's coming from.
We can agree to disagree, and I'm cool with that.
I know where he's coming from. That's my point. Like, I just feel bad for the old guy. You know, he's looking for someone to throw him a rope. That's what he's looking for. And Dave, here's the thing. If it does continue, we will throw him a rope, both ends. Sploosh. Yeah. So hopefully it does not continue. I don't want to keep going on like that. I don't want to sound like I'm acting tough during the news. I'm not being tough at all. That's the whole thing. I just feel bad.
It is sad. You know, and I hope this person finds comfort and peace, whatever. But why do we do what we do? Me personally, I've had experiences that I can't explain. And that just makes me curious about the things that we don't know, the possibility of ghosts, the possibility of dreaming the future, out of body experiences, like that kind of stuff. It's fascinating to me. And what people don't understand is there's a whole science to this. It's not someone saying, oh, I took a picture and I see an orb. There are people combing through hours and hours of audio and video, you know, trying to find something.
But Dave,
or confirming that there is nothing.
But Dave, hear me out on this. Here's the problem that I'm going to have with that. I'll tell you why I have a problem with what you're saying. Because to say that there is or there is not religion is the same thing, is the same argument. Like they say that you can't believe that someone believes there is no religion is just as stupid as someone saying you know what I mean?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying why I'm fascinated by these things and why I'm here doing this podcast with you guys and why I watch the other shows and talk to people about paranormal. Like I have a curiosity about this stuff, and I think
can tell you why I'm here.
All right, why are you here, Mike? What got you into all this?
All right, so we were doing just strictly sports shows, and then I wanted to do like an Art Bell type show on a Sunday because I was a big fan of Art Bell. And then that turned into the Sunday show, which went on for about 2 years. And then that turned into like a podcast website with about, I'm doing 2 tonight. I got a podcast right after this, Into the Legit Darkness with allegedly Rini Rodriguez. But what's kept me in it is the bigger issue. because you could see how someone could get burned out doing just this alone, a couple hundred, if not 300 or 400 hours of podcasting on paranormal alone. Um, it's hearing from the people that have legitimate stories or stories to me that I'm intrigued by that I don't call bullshit on.
Yes.
But there's a lot of stories that I've called bullshit on in my head, and I've just never said flat out to the people. But if you go back and watch the shows and you get to know my personality, you'll immediately know when I truly believe in someone and when I don't. It's all in how I talk and how I act about it. But some people have stories that just sometimes, man, they hit you and you go, yeah, just either, the weird thing is sometimes they tell you stories that either ring a bell or they just hit your spine. You go, all right, there's something off about that story. Like there's something real about that story. Like this person, the way he's did, I don't know. I can just, again, I wish you had a drink on you, but I'm an Italian, and I'm actually the para-Italian. No, para-Italian. Para, then Italian.
You should
Para-Italian.
trademark that if you haven't already.
I have the website, para-Italian.com. Hey, look, I got a T-shirt on that says, "Hey, who'd you talk to? What's going on?" I mean, guys, I got all that covered. No, but yeah. So, anyways, I've got to have over at least 200 different conversations with some extremely interesting people from all walks of the paranormal life, right? From A to Z. And the thing is, I want to do a book because think about all the people I've talked to and all the stories I've heard and all the different topics and how I can just organize them into groups. It's like I've had so many conversations. I've gathered so much knowledge. And the thing is, people always think that I'm dumb because I speak for the dumb, DUMM. But I've been using that Norm Macdonald tactic this whole time, and it works really well because you get a lot of information out of people. And I keep, I keep notes.
Yes.
So I have stacks of notes from all the shows that I could go through. Like that would be to me a good book. It'd be like a beginning of paranormal and like 2.5 years in, and then all the shows that popped up and all the different mediums, UFO researchers, Bigfoot, the cryptid specialist, just everyone, bring them all in, right? The ghosts, all the different hunters. Had some bigger names, right?
Yeah.
It would be a great book. I'm just lazy.
And Mike, I will say this: I think it's important to be skeptical as well. Like we can't just believe every piece that's presented is paranormal.
Once you believe everything you see, I don't trust you.
Yeah, it's healthy to be skeptical, and it's important to be skeptical.
Well, because not everything's gonna always be real,
right?
No matter how you look at things. Like in other words, Gene will be coming up soon, and so for every crop field Gene has shown us, right, in the last 2 weeks. Here's the thing: even if one of them wasn't man-made, mind-blowing.
Yeah.
That's my point. Like, in other words, even if there's a percentage of them that are real, they don't all have to be real. But if you get one or two that are real, to me, how is that not worth it? And how is that considered horseshit?
And she's shown us the ones that aren't real too, and listed a couple of guys that have admitted to making these homemade crop circles as well. So it's important to present both sides of the story, the stuff we can't explain, but hey, we might not be able to explain this one, but we can explain the 3 over here. I think it's important to represent both sides like that.
Hey, there was a shootout in Johnson today.
There was?
Yeah. I was just fed that by somebody watching the show. Problem is, Dave, we're on like 3 different YouTube channels. We're on Rumble. We're on 2 or 3 different Facebook feeds. Can't keep track of all the comments. If they don't come to this one YouTube channel comment here, I can't keep track of it. So someone just said you didn't mention the Johnson shootout today. I'm like, I don't think that person would just bring that up to be goofy. Apparently, there had to be a shootout in Johnson, which is just down the road from where they're shooting Good Burger too. Dave, do you have anything else on this story? Because there's one thing I want to add if you don't.
Yeah, so like some people are curious about whether or not there are ghosts in these phenomenon. Some people have a desire to help others. They know these people are suffering. And whether it's something paranormal or it turns out to be some kind of mental illness, it's a way to get people some help. Um, People themselves believe in paranormal and they want to prove to others that their belief system is true. Some people, it's the thrill of the chase. They want to catch something and be able to present something. And
So
yeah, there are some people who are in it for the money and the fame, but I think the majority of the investigators out there are just trying to satisfy a curiosity and prove that there's something beyond this, when we die.
So here's the thing that I've learned, right, from being around a couple of different ghost investigating teams or spoken with them and trying to break them down on the shows, is that they all do it because the camaraderie, the teamwork, the social aspect of it, but also the bonding of, if I'm gonna go into someplace really scary and dark, you're coming with me. So there's something about that bond of let's do this together.
Yeah.
If something bad happens, we'll both be there. That's almost like going to battle. Obviously not, but you know what I mean by that. You're both putting yourself in a position where it's like, all right, let's go do this together. And when there's a team of you that always shows up, especially like dude, you notice how I break down the teams every time I talk to them? There's like one that's like the tech person. There's one that's the mouthpiece.
Right,
There's
right.
one that's the one that writes the schedule, because you need those different people at least. So I don't know. I just think that it's something that at first I was like, I didn't really like this. This I don't know if I could. This doesn't make sense to me. And then before the ghost hunting, they hate when I say that. By the way, they hate that, real ghost investigators. I was on one podcast, and the question was ghost hunter or ghost investigator, and Buddy said investigator, and she's like, "Ooh, all right." So of course, the next time she asks me the same question, I'm going to see the opposite word, and because she gave Buddy 100, right, on the turn before me.
Yeah.
Now, Dave, I get to go next. Am I going to just repeat what Buddy said, like Joey did, and just
No.
get 100? Or am I just going to say the exact opposite of everything Buddy said to see how bad I could fail?
Oh, speaking of Joey, have we found Joey?
No.
Speaking of a paranormal investigation,
No.
have we discovered where he is?
No.
No.
Matter of fact, want to know the worst part? Some people don't even remember Joey now. I'm losing memories. It's getting weird. It's getting, dare I say, paranormal. Dave, so look, let's speak about this. Why do people do this, and why is it a problem for other people? That's the biggest issue. Like, so again, I'm going to speak from somebody that kind of comes from this person's perspective at first. I come from the band world, all right? Now, here's my issue with the band world, just so you know where I come from. I used to go to shows, and you know the level of shows that I would be at, right? Where there was like names of people that to me were like big. Now I'm talking like Dimebag Darrell.
Yeah, we were at a lot of the same shows.
Run DMC, but meeting them, Run DMC, like these type of people, to me, they're up here. All right. So now cut to me at a Paracon, and there's somebody walking by, and people are freaking out, and I'm going, who's that? And they're like, oh, that's so and so from this. I'm like, oh yeah. Well, what they do? You know what I mean? It's like, and why is everybody? It's like, I'm sorry, it's snobbish, I guess, Dave. But think about it. When you drop from like Ozzy Osbourne's level to like, I don't know,
To Trickster.
I don't want to throw anybody on the bus, but you know what I mean?
Puddle of Mud.
They're just different beasts, dude. So I've been a little odd and off the whole time with this. I've never seen anybody as a quote unquote celebrity. That to me is saved for athletes and musicians, and then sometimes an actor. Just because I'm programmed that way. But anyways, Dave, listen, if you have a belief, I don't want to say keep it to yourself, because that's kind of a wrong thing to say. Here's the thing. Don't push it on anyone. You can offer your belief to someone. If they reject it, move on.
I agree.
Doesn't that make sense?
It does.
Just move on. Just move on, because you know what? Here's the thing. Once someone disagrees with you, you're never going to win an argument about religion in a million, trillion, billion, zillion, The largest number I know, Dave, is Googillion. That's the largest number I can think of. It's a million millions. That's all I got from math.
I had a book as a kid, and I think there was a number that said like 1 million or something like that.
That was
So
probably
I don't know if that's bigger than a Googillion, but
that was probably in Dr. Seuss what you were reading.
potentially.
Could have been. All right. So before I cut the G really quick, Dave, got two quick. We got one quick video we're going to show you, and then we'll show the other one at the end of the show. They're actually somewhat new releases. They've never been on a CD before. So let's. It's about 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Let me present it as this way. This is the former band that I was in. State of Corruption, and these are two songs that we never got a chance to release due to the fact that, well, you know how bands go.
What, those sicko fucks are I told my little nephew what dogs don't hunt.
I'm not just talking about one person, I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about form. I'm talking about content. I'm talking about interrelationships. I'm talking about God, the devil, hell, heaven. Do you understand? Trust. Real 675, but my brain runs fast. It's what keeps me alive. I got brothers in the cities and sisters in the farms. I got haters in our places. They all do us some harm. That's why we all need to stay together as one. That's why we don't need to settle rich with God. They took our freedom. Yeah, I acknowledge my mistake, but now we can't live. I think our freedom is a fight. We are born. Straight down we go. Father and Father and Father. The truth tells. Father and Father and Father. My family stays close. Father and Father and Father. A man may die. A nation may rise and fall. Corruption lives on. Slow motion explosion as I walk away. I'm not your hero, but I'm here. So now what you say? Don't go reluctant, don't worry, we'll come around in a hurry. I'll teach you how to stick and roll. Round, stick with the furry. Take my hand, come with me. The soundtrack's a symphony. It's not every day that you like the mocking with your name. It's a shame, the demon, it's a fame. Well, that's all you gain from all of this pain. We're all born. Father and Father, get Father. Straight down we go. Father and Father, get Father. The truth tells. Father and Father, get Father. My family stays close. Father and Father, get Father.
Hey, any of you sons of bitches got anything else to say? Now's the fucking time!
Can't possibly understand to be received like I do. I witness fall back in ignorance like you might wear a tattoo. When the smoke clears and the sun comes out, right for your face, fucker, your mouth.
Tell me to the devil that they shall appear.
One of those lands, motherfucker.
And there you go, Dave. That was the first of the two releases videos. What do you think?
I like it. I miss those days.
It's called The Scent. Now, oddly enough, the lyrics were written about 4 years ago, 3 years ago, I think, 3 or 4 years ago. and maybe even 5, and they were about apologizing for how badly things had fallen. Right, and it makes more sense now when I go back.
pretty relevant.
Yeah, when I go back and listen to the lyrics, like it's weird. There was a lot of songs that we had written for the unreleased CD that, I mean, they're weird. They mean more now than they meant then. It's like we kind of caught what was going on and we nailed it. You know what I mean? We were ready for it. But are you good for now so we can have Gene come in?
Yeah. Let's bring Gene out.
All right, let us now welcome who has waited patiently. Jet Fuel, Gene Broida. Gene, how are you tonight?
Hey, Gene.
Howdy, howdy.
Gene,
That video is a hard act to follow. I'll just say that. Hats off. Well done.
Interesting shots chosen for the music
Good energy
video.
there.
Thank you.
And provocative.
Yeah,
Yeah?
Gene. So here's
Sign
what
of
I
the
did,
times.
right? So that's a song that we wrote and we played. That's me doing half the vocals. You can tell which voice is mine, I think.
Yeah, rock
But
on.
when it came time to do that video,
Hi,
what
Audra.
I did was I open AI'd. You know, I use Open AI. Have you ever used Open AI? Have you guys used
I
that?
have not used it, but I have
Oh,
over-the-shouldered it. I've seen someone else use it. It's, again,
I
go
asked
ahead.
it for the 15 top most controversial or argumentative words. And those are the words it gave me.
Oh, really?
And I put them in order almost, other than obviously corruption.
Interesting.
But those are the words that make people
It's like a
argue
musical
the most.
Rorschach test.
Yeah, I just went, here's one. I wanted to see like which one's going to be the one where people go, ah.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of A Clockwork Orange by
Yeah,
Kubrick.
well,
Did you see that? Do you remember that?
No, I never have.
Well, there's a mind control segment where Malcolm McDowell, a very young and gorgeous Malcolm McDowell, is the protagonist, and he's pathologically violent.
Yeah.
So he's going to be reconditioned psychologically and made to see all these violent images with chemicals that make him retch and get sick. And then he's shown nice kittens and flowers and things and feels good, right? So it's to condition against, so that if he has an impulse to commit an act of violence, he will become physically ill, which happens by the end of the movie, by the way. It just reminded me that the series of images paired with keywords, it's very impactful. It's a great way to deliver a message, don't you think?
Well, the thing is, too, the other thing I was discussing in my own head was like how deceptive am I with the words themselves? And then you know what my initial decision was? Not at all. I'm going to go, because the best way sometimes to do something is just be blatant, hold it for a second so they know that you're holding it, and then drop it. Like a little less.
Let them reach their own conclusions.
Not trying
you
to
don't need to be preachy. Like you were saying
not at all.
before, no need to be preachy. You present your view and they can take it or leave it, right?
And it's a new song, and I have a second one at the end of the show. And then, by the way, Gene, I'm hosting the show tonight at 9:05 with Rini Rodriguez. It's Into the Legit Darkness. It's a different serial killer every week.
Legit Darkness.
I'm terrified. I'm terrified. I don't like stories about serial killers. They kind of freak me out.
Well, good.
But I think Rini's looking forward to that.
I think.
Yeah, I think Rini's looking forward to it. So, Gene, what do you got for us on deck tonight?
Before I launch into my splendid topic for the night, I have to brag on myself and thank Jimmy Church, who had me as his guest on Fade to Black last night. This guy is basically third in line to Art Bell and George Norrie, or some might think so. Jimmy Church, he's a powerful force, been researching UFOs and paranormal for decades and hosting his shows for decades. And it was just a thrill to be on his show. I was very grateful for the opportunity, and we romped through the paranormal. So if you want to go to jimmychurchradio.com, I'm on the main page because it happened last night.
Let me ask you this.
Yesterday's news, but today I'm today's news.
Let me throw in a couple of quick questions, right? Because I'm being serious about this. How long ago did you get the invite from Jimmy Church?
Why do you want to know?
No, because was it recent? Did he recently reach out to you?
Why do you want to know?
Because you'll be the third person that's attached to Legit Podcast that have either done one or been contacted by Jimmy Church.
You
We
know who
are
I think is responsible? Michelle Freed, the producer.
exactly. Of course it is.
She's the common element.
She's
And I don't
all right.
want to talk about people that our viewers
no.
don't know. That's so
Listen,
rude.
here's what I want
But
to tell you.
I
So Tim
think there's a
Weisberg,
mutual producer in common who's moving the chess pieces behind.
check
the
me
board.
out. So Tim Weisberg.
And I've known Michelle for years and years.
Yeah, but all right, Gene, Tim Weisberg.
I know Tim. I've been on his
So
show. Love the
Tim will
man.
be Tim is our first guest for our first month on Block Island. He'll be there in
Awesome.
June. Right.
Yeah.
Michelle was coming, but Michelle can't make it. So
Oh,
now, when I had spoken with Michelle before about all the things that we do on Legit Podcasts, and then here's the reason I say this, and I'm not going to ask for any like sort of whatever. She said to me, "Did you want to do podcasts or whatnot, other podcasts?" And I said, "Nah."
she asked me the same
Ask-
thing.
Ask the
I
people.
said the same thing.
I said, ask people. I said to ask people that are on other shows. So I know Sin has been asked on a couple of shows from the Sunday show.
Well, you know what it is. We're a community. Let's just
I-
leave it at that.
That's what I'm
We're
trying
a
to say. I
community.
hope you guys start getting more invitations. Dave, I'm sorry you haven't gotten any yet, but I
The
did.
content must be filled. The spice must flow.
When I made a list, Dave, I got to be honest, right? Here's what it looked like. When I made a list of people that I would recommend, it was like this. And then, Dave, there was this. And it was just, you can't see it, but your name and Joey Paranormal's name are written on there, Dave.
Oh,
In
I was-
invisible ink.
what
In
are you
invisible
lumping
ink.
me in with Joey Paranormal for?
No, I'm just, hey, by the way, I would never do that to you.
Hey.
Although I do love Joey Paranormal. He just
We
missing.
all love Joey Paranormal. We wish he would come back to us.
Just missing.
Mike,
Yes, Gene.
seriously. If anybody else cancels for Rock Island, if you need another spot, I need a
You-
vacay. I need a
Block,
vacay.
it's block.
Whatever. Wherever it is. I'm
Gene,
in.
Gene,
I'm
here's
in. I'm
here's
your
the
woman.
problem. Here's the problem.
I'm
I
your
would have-
jet fuel.
If I could get you a room, which is impossible, that's what the problem is right now. Right now, see, Block Island is, and Dave, you know this. It's like the rich person's like summer. It literally is. They fill it, and the rooms are like
So of course
so
you picked
much
it.
a night.
Of course you picked that place.
Well, Gene, you mean did I pick a place where there is nobody else like around there with some of the greatest people?
We
I
can
can
take
work
this
with
offside.
his beaches,
I'm
with
just
his
floating it out to you.
beaches?
I'm just telling you I'm interested. I'm interested and
I would
we
love
can
to have
talk
you
later
down.
about it. So are you ready to share my screen here?
Oh yeah. Hey man, hold on a second.
Because I
Go
got
right
a
ahead.
good one. I got a good one
Wait a
today.
minute. There it is.
I got a good one today. Okay.
That was
So here we go. Going to be talking about 3 towers, so-called, on Mars.
Yep.
They're there after all. Okay, there was a kerfluffle about this. I'm showing this view because I want to shout out Jeffrey Saunders. This is Jeffrey Saunders' YouTube page. So here, let's make it big. Okay. So
We're looking
before
for 3 what?
this is a picture. This is a map, basically. This is what they call a mosaic map of Mars. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of
Doesn't that mean it was pieced together?
I'm not going to roll this as a film. I'm going to show that. So yeah, mosaics. Here's you can see my cursor. I hope see the rectangle.
Yeah.
There's an orbital spacecraft that's taking pictures as it goes by, and then computers stitch all these images together digitally, and they use these. I'm sure they use these kinds of objects or outlines to help line up the map and the stitching. At least that's my best guess. Don't claim to be an expert on this, but I do know a little about mapping, and how else would it work, right? And I've seen in Hawaii, at the University of Hawaii in Honolulu, I have seen wall-sized maps from NASA that were of the moon, but it's the same technology. NASA has been perfecting this. Okay, so let me cut to the chase. Here's what these things look like. Okay, and maybe this doesn't look impressive. Let me see if I can get a better picture here. Okay, here we go. I'm going to hold it on that image while I tell you a little bit about these things, okay?
Can I tell you what they look like?
Tell me, but I think I know what you're going to say. Go ahead and tell me.
They look like zits on the back of someone's neck.
Yeah. or tits, nipples.
No, not at all. Tits. Those are gross. Those look like they're gonna be popped. Those
Gross.
are zits on some like teenager's neck that need to be
Called
popped.
Dr.
Okay.
Pimple Popper.
So there are people who scour NASA images looking for interesting features and anomalous features, and a YouTube channel curator named Jose Luis discovered while he was reviewing these series of images a row of enormous towers on the Martian surface. Okay, well, how enormous? Each one of these 3 towers is reckoned to stand almost 1 mile tall. And this would be a very impressive feat of architecture if these things are not a natural feature, considering that the tallest building on Earth is only half this size. Okay, so we can build half a mile high, but these are a mile high or nearly. Okay,
Well,
so
you know what?
this data, hold on, this data comes from the Mars Global Surveyor, MGS, Mars Global Surveyor. It's in orbit, and it's got a photographic instrument mounted on it. And so the image that shows these towers, the one we're looking at right now, this image was captured in 1999. So we all partied with Prince. And a lot could have changed on the surface of Mars since then. But it's interesting to note that the region where these are located is called Terra Meridiani. That's land of the Meridia. Meridias are lines of longitude. And coincidentally or not, that exact region was chosen as a landing spot for NASA's Curiosity rover, the Martian rover. But they didn't. Okay, so that's just an odd coincidence. So there you go.
Can I interject for 1
towers on
second?
Mars. You
Can I
bet.
interject for 1 second, please?
Mhm.
So check this out, Gene. A mile high is really high.
Yeah, it
so
is.
it's bizarrely high because Dave, let me ask you this. From the deepest trench of the ocean to the highest mountain point there is, do you know how far that is, Dave?
I do not.
12.3 miles.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it. That's why when you look at the Earth from way, 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 way back, it's smooth like a cue ball. Because the farther back you get, the less the size difference matters. It all looks smooth. As we zoom in on this, if we can see something that's a mile high, now that's saying they're all a mile high. They could be 1.5. This one could be 2. The other one could be half a mile. You know how brothers are. But the point is to say that one's a mile high. That's a ridiculously high thing to have right there. And then have 3 of them is a very odd occurrence.
But wait,
Just so
there's
we know.
more. They're arranged in the same pattern as the stars in the belt of Orion. Of course they
Well,
are.
you're-
And
you're
what else
fro-
is
you're-
in that alignment? The Great Pyramids in Egypt.
You're frozen, but we're waiting. It's coming. There you go. There it is.
Could you hear what I said?
Yeah. They're about same on Orion's belt, and then
Yeah.
what'd you say? Oh, the pyramids in Egypt.
Yeah. This configuration of 3 in a row, and they're slightly offset. They're not an exact line. People who look into this sort of thing, citizen scientists and citizen scholars are saying that the mathematical alignment, the way these align, if you plotted them on grid paper, right, that they are basically the same pattern as we find in structures on the Earth and in the sky belt, the stars that represent or are thought to represent Orion's belt. So I just thought this was kind of interesting. Plus, who doesn't like to see maps of Mars?
True. Hey, if you guys want to use Google Earth really quick, I'll give you my address. I'll go outside.
This is what's going on Mars. And Elon Musk is all for colonizing Mars. So we always thought it was a red planet. Turns out it's not really. I mean, yes, there are some red rocks, but there's red rocks on Earth too, and we don't call Earth a planet. So looks like a lot of what we thought we knew about Mars may be wrong. And this is such a strange formation. It may be natural, but a lot of people are quick to say, no, it has to be artificial. My jury's still out.
My fear is living on Mars will be like a gerbil living in one of those advanced gerbil cages. We get the call through this like really cool tube. That's all you get at Mars because you can't breathe the air, so they keep you in these tubes.
I think when Elon Musk finally gets his Starship to Mars, they're going to be waiting for us. And he's going to try to hail them and say, hey, we're trying to colonize.
with
And
pitchforks and torches.
they're going to go, the hell you are.
Let me ask,
We
Dave,
don't
let me
want
ask,
your kind here.
let me ask you something. Do you think he's not been to Mars?
He
Elon?
might be from Mars. He's pretty
No.
odd.
What I'm saying to you is, do you not think that he's landed stuff on Mars already? 'Cause he has. So he just has. Because how long ago did he start talking about it? 3-4 years ago, if you really think about it. But then again, that's how life is. You hear it on the news so much you can't tell how long ago you heard it. But it was about 3-4 years ago, maybe more. With a
It's
brain that works like his.
possible, but I think it's more likely that some other organization has landed on Mars.
No,
before
he has
Musk.
had no. Look up the books. He has had spaceships take off. He's he's launched he's
But have they made it yet? It takes time to get to Mars.
he's Elon Musk.
Physics.
That guy
The
figured
physics
out a
thing.
way to take time and
The
bend it like a
time-space
piece of
continuum.
paper and just go right through.
Yeah.
I tell you, you know what I mean? Like the weirdest thing is I never thought I'd agree with somebody who speaks so awkwardly. Like it's hard to listen to him speak sometimes, but
Hey, he's so smart he
some
can
of it,
barely talk.
yeah, some of it I agree with. It's like, you know what? He tries to figure out what would a human say. He takes a deep breath
Yeah.
and he goes,
Yes,
"What would a
it's like-
human say?"
Like he's got a babble fish in his ear. He's like,
Maybe he's
like
one of them there reptiles.
No, I like him.
Reptilians.
I do. I like him. I like him because he speaks his mind. Like he's
well,
just
he professes to be a humanitarian.
in those Twitter files. Hey, allegedly. Oh, allegedly. Oh, guy, allegedly. Oh, allegedly.
Well, because he has lawyers. That's his
Wait, hold
lawyers talking.
How could natural towers a mile high exist? That
Well,
seems
quite.
so crazy. Like a mountain that's a mile
Quite.
high is one thing, but a tower
How
just
could
baffles
they
me.
exist if
I
they
wonder
are
how a
natural?
structure like that would naturally occur. Okay. Glad you asked. Allow for me and David to explain. Dave, maybe like a big windstorm, you think? What am I thinking here? Like swept up rocks?
Dust storms.
Maybe
they
mud,
have,
Dave, mud,
they talk about-
Dave, with 3 trees, like type things, right, Dave? And then it was a big mud, wet rain, hailstorm, and it like packed the trees, Dave? Help me here.
It was
natural.
It was the Martian version of the Tasmanian devil. He just spun around and made these things.
That'd be more like pooping it out. Well, a really gigantic one that was 3 times that size broke apart into 3s.
They're Martian crop circles.
I got nothing for you. Why would you ask a question we can't answer? Why ask a question someone can't answer? I don't know. You know what? I could have just went, I don't know.
I think the answer is always puppets.
Puppets. My
Can't
point
go
is,
wrong
The
with
answer to everything.
Audra's so intelligent that she knows that's just a statement.
I know.
It's not a question. If it's a question, me and Dave got to try to answer it. And how's poor Dave going to answer that? Dave, I'm just sticking up for you, all right? I know,
I'll just ask Bard. Or Bing. I'll Bing it.
Gene, it took you what, like 3 weeks to catch in on that joke? Because
Which one?
You didn't even know what it was to begin with?
Oh, disrespected the Bing.
I remember I kept saying, I don't know what that is. You got to Google it. Do you remember that joke? Or you still maybe don't get it? You know
I
what
don't
Bing
remember the
is?
joke.
I kept making fun of Bing. You know what Bing is? B-I-N-G?
I hate Bing. I suppress Bing. I'm
All right,
anti-Bing.
All right. I kept
I
saying,
don't Bing.
what's Bing? Dave, hey, Dave, Google that.
Google it.
Google Bing.
Yeah.
That was all
Or
a joke.
Bing Google.
Yeah, no, I was. But anyways, I digress. Dave, we got 3 events coming up on Block Island. You go to blockislandghosttours.com, blockislandghosttours.com, or you can actually type in his one for you, blockislandparanormal.com, and it goes directly to blockislandghosttours.com.
Awesome.
You can book one of those 3 months. It's just gonna be a great time.
You're
It's gonna be
going to
a great
find me a
time.
room. I'll be there. You know you want me to be
Here's the thing. I'm
there.
sleeping on a
If
couch.
it's meant to be, it'll
And I'm
happen.
on a couch, Gene, I'm on a couch. You know what I'm trying to say to you? Like, no, for real. Like, I'm old. You know that I need a couch. I need a bed. I'm old enough where I'm at an age where, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be giving younger people real dirty looks because it's like you should let the old guy lay the frig down.
Not me. I can bring a camping pad and a sleeping bag and be perfectly happy. Who's going to sleep anyway? It's a party.
I wouldn't camp in a million years. I'm not laying
Camp
down
in the
on
hotel
the
room. Camp in the
ground.
lobby. There's this guy who does videos on camping in like meridians in traffic circles. Have you seen this guy? He's a stealth camper.
No.
I'd rather watch a guy play Xbox in the
I
AC.
could camp in the parking lot.
Yeah, no,
and pretend I'm a dumpster or something.
I can't. Look, my days of sleeping on floors is long since past. I'm going to play the next video really quick, guys, because I promised that I would. Let me see if I can present this one. This one is called, what is it called? So Ape. So Ape. Ape. So Ape. Here we go. Wow.
It's only same world. Madnesses are only escape. So take what you can, girl. It feels so good to be so late. Let it go, let's be free. Uncivilized, a different species, just with similar eyes. At the core is a man made for war. But a heart doesn't beat when it has no more. Like to it, love to it, a sympathetic reason. Game plan attack, react like y'all beating. After hard, we're all animals, so how can you sleep? I love straight cannibals. Be the beast in me, the least in me that would never wear the cape. My crown is no mistake, so try and let it be. This angry beast in me, my number one plan. Strong enemy, it's only sane world. Madnesses are only escape. So take what you can, girl. It feels so good to be so late. Let's get lost these roots of dark. Rub two stones and start a spark. Look at me now, I've created fire. A missing link chromosome retired. Chopping your sticks in hunting packs. Canines tearing up backs of backs. The birds on first, then walk made on. Heart still beat, but the blood is warm. Primal scream, yeah, we all hear it. Some will fear, but others draw near. Can't find territory without piss. To keep them away, on your chest like this. It's only sane world. Madnesses are only escape. So take what you can, girl. It feels so good to be so late.
War, disease, death, destruction, hunger, filth, poverty, corruption. What we need right now is a clear message. This message must resound throughout the entire installation. War, disease, death, destruction, hunger, filth, poverty, corruption. I want every man, woman, and child to understand how close we are to kill. I want everyone to remember why they need us.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the beast will hunt tonight. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the beast will hunt tonight. Pound your chest. Pound your chest. Pound your chest. Pound your chest to this with your fist. 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 It's only sane world. Madnesses are only escape. So take what you can, girl. It feels so good to be so late. It's only sane world. Madnesses are only escape. So take what you can, girl. It feels so good to be so late. Pound your chest. Pound your chest. Pound your chest.
And there's that one. What'd you think of that, Dave?
That's a good one. You gotta release these things there, Mike.
That one, Gene. My favorite part of that was the scene, the clip I got where these people that are going out looking for these silverback gorillas end up with a silverback gorilla that comes up right next to them. And they're all they all have to keep their heads crouched down. You can't make eye contact, and they're all shivering in fear as this thing is just sitting there. And it's like a weird way of just reminding someone of like, there's always something that's so much bigger than you. You know what I mean? There's just something that can just sit. It can just sit there, and you go, "Oh, geez." And that's kind of what that song is about. It's about like just making sure you don't back down from stuff when you have to, but also knowing when there's something that's that big, like my George Thorogood story. When I saw all those biker guys that were 6'4" that had knives on them, I saw the knives on them come in and start shoving guys to see if they get into a fight. And I told the two people I were with, if you get bumped, don't do a thing. Now, me as a normal person, when I get bumped, I'm not Italian. Oh, guy, what was that? You know, the whole 9 yards. But this big biker who looked like Thor, he looked like Thor met Jesus, and they had like him, and he went whack. And man, I took that shoulder block, and I came back and squared, and I said, "My bad, man. I'm sorry." I didn't even look up, and just walk right by him. I think he called me the P word. But I tell you what, Dave, I'd rather go home and get in bed knowing I got called the P word than go home and get in bed and try to figure out how to cover up this knife wound.
That's if you made it home to get in bed.
Well, that's my
in that
point.
situation. Yeah.
Because if I'm in bed with a knife wound, I'm not in good shape. You know what I mean? Gene, anything you like to say before we wrap up? Just because we're running by the time. Let's give you a close up so you can talk about your book. Hold on.
Book? You mean this book?
Yes, I do.
Unknown Objects, the top 10 U.S. UFO cases on Amazon. It's great stories that help shape our perception of UFOs from the end of World War II to the Phoenix Lights mass sighting, which some people alive today still remember in the 1980s. Appreciate your support. Love you all. Great show. Love you guys. Thank you.
Hey, listen, so we got to figure something out because that woman, I keep going on woman, but Sin Schrader Hill, who's on Sunday night, she has a book, right, on Amazon. I also have a book on Amazon. I just don't talk about it. But together, we all have books on Amazon. We need to figure out some sort of way to swirl that up, right? I mean,
I'm all for it.
Under the legit umbrella of family people. Like, hey, I know them. And so we all get those books together. Dave, what would you want to say to wrap it up?
If you've seen Joey Paranormal, please contact us. Any tips would be appreciated. I do not have a book on Amazon. I guess I'll get to working on that. You know, it's quiet here in the studio. I can use that time to write, I suppose.
Can you write? Do you know how to write?
I do.
Like, in other words, if I gave you all the info, would you help me be able to write it? That's how I did it last book. Because then
I'm good at organizing stuff.
Then, man, you might be the guy I need to help me write the legit paranormal story. Because God, the people I've met and talked to, and oh boy, that would be a great book. It really would.
It would be a great book.
It's all over the gamut. But I need someone to help me write it. Like, I'm a writer, but that's actually what my degree was in. But that and acting. But I don't like to write. There's the difference. You know what I mean? Like, I write all this stuff every day, and that's it. What?
Have your people call my people, and we'll see if we can put something together.
You're telling me to just message you later.
Have your people contact my people, Mike.
Yeah, we don't have people, Dave.
We do.
Dave, you're in the studio right now. You're in the studio right now. Let's come on, please. You've been sleeping there, and we caught you. Okay?
It's not true.
There's a good chance you're not even wearing pants, if pajamas, tops.
Why you gotta say stuff like that?
Because I know what's going on, Dave. I'm one of those guys that's in the know. Gene told me. So anybody else?
Me sleeping in the studio. Sorry.
So guys,
sorry, Dave.
Coming up extremely next will be Into the Legit Darkness. It's actually supposed to start now, so I'm going to go with Rene Rodriguez. So for Gene, Jet Fuel Broida, for Dreamy David Barr, it's me, Mike Clipper King, Mike Ellis, was Legit Paranormal News, brought to you by Legit Paranormal Podcast. Stay tuned for the next show.